everyone, this is Chorus Landwalker, and if you're seeing this because of the game tag category, then congratulations, you have found the bottom of the barrel. Usually I am streaming Star Citizen or Star Trek Online during Saturday afternoons and Wednesday evenings, but my schedule kind of took a bit of a beating today, so I thought I would take the opportunity to do a one-shot. In the comic book biz, once upon a time, one-shots meant a single issue, single story kind of deal, and that kind of fits what we're doing here today. Because what I'm going to be streaming today is a game that has taken the gaming world by storm. Or if you want it to be thematically appropriate, hey Puffin Mug, how are you doing? Glad to see you. And pleased to be a favorite of somebody out there, thank you. I'm going to be doing a little bit of a stream today on a very different game than what I've been usually doing. Just for this afternoon, it's going to be Valheim. And you may have seen this around on Twitch because there's only 50 or 60 different people streaming it even at this very moment. It came out into early access in February, I believe. And I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't originally going to be touching this game. I just couldn't see myself paying the price for a game that I might do for just a few hours and then forget about. Of course, that was before I actually looked into the game. Found that the price was roughly half of what I thought it was, because it was early access. And I figured, well, gee, if hardcover books are more expensive, why don't I go ahead and purchase it just for kicks and see what it's like. Well, I saw it alright, and I was impressed enough that I'm going to be sharing my impressions and thoughts with you, the viewing audience. The first part of my stream today is going to be looking at the early game by literally starting a new character and demonstrating the basics. And then a little later down the line, I'll switch to my primary character, where it's closer to the mid-game experience. And maybe, just maybe, I'll be psychotic and attempt to do the big boss that I have on my schedule to take out. I fully expect to get killed by him, but life is filled with all these little challenges, right? So, pick up the game, you get the start game. There's a number of settings on here. They're pretty straightforward settings. There are not a whole lot of controls here. Graphics, miscellaneous. I just leave pretty much everything on default. I think I might have changed one thing somewhere along the line, but for the life of me, I don't know if I did. No biggie. I have here a brand spanking new character made up for this stream itself, this very stream. And I'm going to click on, if you want to make a new character, you just go to new, and you can generally do the male, female thing, change the skin tone. You can just go with a few hairstyles. You can give well, okay, you can't give a beard to a female, but you have a number of beards for the males. Change hair tone so they're kind of more blonde or less, well, actually, this is the more blonde, less blonde, white hair guy. I wish I'd done that with the character I was going to run here. Oh well. It's not exactly what you would call a visually detailed avatar. Apparently they put all the visual details in the game itself, and even there, as you can see, it's not what you would call high-definition graphics. That's perfectly okay. So we're going to start with our boy, Worth Walker here. I couldn't fit the land part on there, so something had to give. And we're going to go into the new world, Twitchlandia. I have no shame. I make no apologies. Now, you've also got the capability of deciding to start a server or make a community server, put passwords on here. I haven't really monkeyed with that. This does have multiplayer capability. There's also an area where you can join games that are out there by other people. And presumably, if you know what their server names are, you can go there and hook in and do stuff. I haven't really done the multiplayer experience though, because really the main reason I picked up the game in the first place was basically I needed a beer and pretzel sort of game, for lack of a better phrase. I was just looking for something to, you know, do in my highly dubious spare time. That didn't work out quite as planned, I admit. Now you'll notice that joining an online server puts your game character at risk. It recommends you create a separate character when playing online. So that's, and of course you've got the details of encountering people who are doing bad things and griefing, all sorts of stuff like that. And much like I say with Star Citizen, okay, I can't say that this is an alpha because it's not. It's early access. I have no idea if the price will go up eventually. For an early access game, though, this is a pretty complete feeling game. Okay, enough of that. Twitchlandia. And we get to the plot. Yes, there is a tiny stain of plot to the game. Once we get past the old loading screen, possibly because it's currently generating the world, you'll notice that there was a lot of seeds listed next to this world. You basically get a seed and you can name it what you want, but the seeds are some kind of procedural generation. I really don't know. And boy, I must have really hammered it with the seed because it is taking longer to load than I expected. There we go. Alright, here we go. Long ago, the All-Father Odin united the worlds. He threw down his foes and cast them into the 10th world, then split the boughs that held their prison to the world tree, and left it to drift unanchored, a place of exile. For centuries, this world slumbered uneasily, but it did not die. As glacial ages passed, kingdoms rose and fell out of sight of the gods. When Odin heard his enemies were growing once again in strength, he looked to Midgard and sent his Valkyries to scour the battlefield for the greatest of their warriors. Dead to the world, they would be born again in Valheim. You know, for such a slow scroll, it was a little challenging to keep up. And there he is, my character, being flown in by what is likely a big honking raven. Hugin, most likely, one of Odin's ravens. If you know a lot about Norse mythology, you know about Hugin, one of the two ravens of Odin. Munin is the other one, and they represent thought and memory, if I recall correctly. It's been a while since I've looked at my Norse mythology. Carefully note, Norse mythology is not the same as the Thor movies. So don't confuse the two. And now he's shrunken down to a more manageable size, although certainly pretty big. Let's see what he has to say about all of this. Welcome to the 10th World, Warrior. I am Hugin, sent to guide you in your travels. The megaliths surrounding you are the sacrificial stones. They represent the Forsaken, which you must slay in order to ascend to Valhalla. So, not too subtle, eh? And you've got all these hooks and sacrificial stones, you can read them. It comes out in kind of Norse runes first. His antlers are branches of iron. They crack the rocks and bring down the mountains. His hooves are the sound of thunder. His voice a howling gale. I have to admit, whoever did the writing on this, I approve. This one. First of the forest, king in the wood, lord over those who dwell at his feet. His roots will grow where cities once stood. Their blood his wine, their flesh his meat. Yeah, this definitely has the warrior attitude. Oh, and Hugin's pestering me again. I'll get to him in a minute. Then we have this one. Wanderer, look to your feet that tread upon our tomb. 1,000 bones without their meat will drag you to your doom. So we're obviously dealing with some friendly individuals here. Black wings across the moon and sun. Down from the mountain our mother comes. Her weeping tears will fall like rain. Her voice will call us home again. And the last of our entertainments. Long ages past he wore a crown beneath a blood-red sky. Now naught is left of all he was, but his spirit cannot die. Okay, so, what's the Raven got to tell us this time? This stone is a Vegvisir. These magical stones were scattered throughout the lands by Odin as signposts pointing to the ritual grounds of the Forsaken. If inspected closer, this one will reveal the summoning place of Eikyr, your first prey. He is a mighty beast, so you will need to properly arm yourself before even attempting to defeat him. Now, if I look at the E here, it will show me a map. And, well, he's practically right next door, isn't he? I've had to do some travel usually to find him, but he is right here, relatively speaking. Now, important thing about the map, you can mark it up like crazy, and I'll probably be demonstrating that as we go along here. It is important to mark your map because it is easy to lose track of things. So let's look at our inventory, shall we? As you can see, I've got a huge inventory here. I've got rag tunic, better than nothing, and I have a torch. Ooh. Oh, there's Hugin again. That bird will not stop bugging me. Now, when you have your inventory open, you also have other things listed here. A compendium, which has things like the active effects on you, message log, and your lore entries. This will grow as you continue to play. Second one shows you your skills. Since I haven't done squat, my skills are, well, exactly what you see here. Over here, a list of trophies. Again, it's empty right now. Some critters will drop some trophies, and they will be recorded in posterity here. And finally, if you are on a multiplayer server, you can enable this to take damage from other players, or not take damage from other players. So, you know, PvP happens. Or it can happen. Let's close up the inventory now. And let's see what the bird has to say again. Take stock of your inventory. I just did. Most items must be crafted. However, due to your recent departure from Midgard, you will have to recall the true shape of objects. Just pick things up and it will all come back to you, I'm sure. My lesser brother, Munin, boy, Munin's probably going to be hacked off to hear that one, tells me one can fashion a stone axe out of wood and stone. Okay, well, conveniently, if you look around your starting area, at least in this particular starting area, for this seeded world, you'll find we have a rock or stone that you can pick up, and look, it tells me I can make some new items. And a branch. Now, once you see some of these things pop up, you have a bunch of recipes you can do. I can make a stone axe, I can make a club, or I can make a hammer. And a hammer is not a war hammer, it is a construction hammer, because you will be doing lots and lots of building in this game. So we're going to grab as many of these stones as I can find. And this is doing pretty well, because I had to really look for decent stones in my personal starting character stuff. It was bad. But I believe I have enough to make my axe now. Let's open up my inventory again and see what I can do. No, still not enough to make an axe, mainly because I need more wood. But I've got stones, I've got 4 stones. I really want to get 6 stones because I want to be able to make that hammer as well as the axe. Now, this area that we're starting in is called the Meadows, and this is the least hostile of the various biomes in the game. There's also the Black Forest, the mountains, the swamps, the plains, each of which have their own dangers and potential rewards. It may have a steep drop over here, isn't it? Now if you look at some of these, if you look around, you'll also see other stuff. For example, raspberries. Let's grab a raspberry. On the lower, one of the nice things about this game is a survival game where it's not hardcore survival. Oh, I'm getting annoyed by Hugan again. He's probably about to tell me what I can do with that raspberry. He probably explains it better than I can. A tasty morsel. You have found a snack. Consume it to improve your health and stamina. Be aware that before long you will grow hungry again, so try to always have at least a couple of different meals ready. That probably requires a little more explanation than what the Raven is telling us. On the lower left of my screen, you will see that we have... What was it? Yeah. The lower left of my screen, we have a fork and Celtic kind of symbol. And this impacts food. You don't starve to death, you don't die of dehydration. But if you have food and consume it by right-clicking on it, your health goes up for a time, and your stamina goes up, and I'll explain stamina momentarily. You can have 3 different types of foods buffing your health and stamina at a given time. But you can't have 3 of the same or even 2 of the same. They've all got to be different. In other words, it helps to have a wide variety in your diet. Now, stamina, if you're doing things like running or fighting, in fact, I see some boars over there and I'm not ready to fight them because I have no weapon. When you run, you'll see that bar there in the center draining. That's your stamina. And going to walking or standing around or basically doing nothing will regenerate. Depending on the food you've eaten, you may have more or less stamina. Now, in order to get some more wood, I'm going to punch this little tree to death. And you'll probably notice that my skill is improving for my unarmed combat. All well and good. Oh, and just in time, it seems like I have a bad critter coming my way. Let's open up my inventory and make myself a stone axe. Meantime, oops, looks like the board's after me after all. I guess I'll start fighting with the fire. Heh, the nice thing about the torch is that it does put your enemies on fire, so... The axe is probably a bit more effective, and the bad guys will eventually usually drop stuff. This guy dropped another torch. No, he didn't, he dropped resin. I can make a torch out of it with the resin. As you might imagine, if there are torches, that indicates there are places and periods of darkness where you will not be able to see unless you have the light of a torch. I have some more rocks. Now, once you have your axe, you can start chopping trees down. And not just the little trees, but some of these bigger trees. Now, being a stone axe, you can't expect much out of it. It's going to take some time to chop these things down. Beech seeds. You can get tree seeds. However, you have to be a little further along in the game before you can actually do anything with those seeds. Save them for a rainy day. Mostly when you chop down a tree, it comes down as this big log. You chop the log, it'll break into 2 smaller logs. And incidentally, trees falling down, they can and will kill you. So, do yourself a favor, pay attention to when it falls down, and make sure you're not in the way. They're also capable of falling down upon other trees and knocking them down. So you could have a domino effect with all sorts of unpleasant random consequences. These graylings are the local critters of the meadows. They don't like you very much. They're kind of the younger cousins of gray dwarves, which you will encounter usually either at night or more frequently in the black forested areas. Okay, I've cut up a good chunk of wood, so I can make myself a hammer now, because I still have a couple rocks. Once you have the hammer, you have the capability of building a lot more stuff. Let's talk to Hugo and hear what he has to say. You have crafted a hammer! With this tool, you will raise mighty halls and towering fortifications. Heh, not yet, idiot. Start by building a workbench. This, in turn, will enable you to construct other things. Which is a peachy idea. But first, I want to get a bit more wood, and since this has already fallen down... Oh, that's all handy. First things first, let's get this wood chopped. I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. Oh, sorry. You will occasionally find a bunch of abandoned structures. Now this one's kind of nice and kind of not nice, because it has a beehive inside. Now beehives can eventually allow you to start, if you break them, let's see if I can get this box. Okay, there's usually chests in here, and I'm going to take everything in here, especially this one, because flint is handy. That will allow you to improve some of your weaponry very quickly. I'm going to move some stuff around here. There we go. Under the right circumstances, you can take the beehive, it will drop a queen bee, and you can later on use it to construct your own beehive and start making honey, which will be very useful in time. Not right away, but in time. Alright, what I really want to do is find some more rocks. And you'll notice that we have all these big stones, but I can't do anything with those. I swing, nothing happens. It's also worth mentioning that there are also some trees here that your stone axe will be unable to cut through. Let's see if I can find an example. There we are. Oh, you'll notice we also have wildlife. They're important to deal with later as well. Birch trees. Too hard for a stone axe. Can't do a thing with that. But the birch trees will eventually lead to fine wood. And fine wood opens up some other possibilities. Deer also open up a lot of possibilities, but the chances of outrunning the deer are pretty dim. At least at this stage. What I want to do next is I want to see if I can... Well, let's see. I see there's a deer down there. Am I capable of catching up to him? No, I just don't have the stamina. Oh, but he's running uphill. That could give me the opportunity. Oh, how about that? How about that? I did not expect to take the deer down. You'll see that he's dropped some raw meat and hide. Now, the hide, not immediately useful. It will be, but not immediately. The meat, that can be. But first I need a little few more stones. Now we've gone through all of this, and oh, there's some boars. Oh, there's a lot of boars actually. I don't think I want to aggro all of those boars at once. I am not yet ready for that kind of conflict. Okay, we have another abandoned structure here. Oh, and there's another grayling. Let's hurt him. Let's try to hurt him. And he drops a bit more resin. Useful for torches. Let's see if there's anything up this structure here. Sometimes these structures have chests, and sometimes they don't have squat. Like now. On the other hand, you could always break it down for raw material. I'm not going to bother with that though. What I'm going to do is I'm going to head down this way. And yeah, I am kind of getting around where they said Eichir was hiding. But I might need to do something else first. What I really want to do is find a relatively flat area so I can hole up for a bit. we're going to be doing some building here. This is about as good a place as any. We're going to build our first shelter. Now, the first thing I need to do is build that crafting bench. And when you find a place where it's not red, click and look at all those items coming through there. What is you gonna have to tell me while all that's coming through? You have built a workbench. The workbench allows you to craft complex items as well as giving you access to lots of more building pieces to construct with the hammer. If you interact with the bench, you will see your options. Well, you might see your options, but you have to make a roof first. But there's something else I need to build first that's more important than putting a roof for the crafting table, and that's a roof for me. So I'm going to show you arguably one of the simpler constructs you can build. I'm going to take a wall, another wall next to that, and a wall next to that. Then I'm going to build a bed, because, hey, you need to be able to sleep somewhere, right? And finally, I'm going to build a roof. I'm busy here. Fine, birds. Headrest for the weary. Sleep the night away in your bed and awaken feeling refreshed and full of energy. Another improvement to your home would be some chests where you can store items. It is a good practice to always have some spare equipment if something unfortunate could happen to you while exploring. You can count on unfortunate things happening to you while you explore. Okay, bird, go away. I've really got to get this thing finished up, or otherwise bad things might happen. Night is falling. What I'll usually do is I'll grab the 26-degree thatch roof O corner, and I'll hook it up to the corner up here. Well, I'll try to hook it up there. I can't. The good news is you can deconstruct an item and get all the materials back with no loss. And I want to put it on the other end. At that point, I can claim the bed, and I should be able to use it to sleep in. Except I can't sleep here yet because I need a fire. So what I'll do next is I'll build another roof. That's kind of a slat here. I'm going to put it on the other side here. And then on my misc tab, I'm going to build a campfire, put it right underneath. The reason I'm putting a roof on there is because it can rain, and rain will take out your fire very quickly. You'll also see that it generates smoke. That's important. You don't want to be in an enclosed area with a smoking fire, because then you will die of smoke inhalation. That's bad. But with that, you have the basics necessary to rest through the night. Nights are dangerous. Things that are tougher than what you find in the daytime will come crawling out and trying to kill you in large numbers. Now, eventually you'll be able to handle that sort of thing, but maybe not necessarily when you're just starting out. Alright, now that we've done this, we're going to try to build the wall, basically the cover for the bench. You saw earlier they were complaining about the bench not having a covering. So we're going to put some covering on it right now. Hey, useless fiend! No, this is not space. My schedule was kind of thrown off because of real life getting in the way, and I thought I would do a one-shot stream on Valheim, which is, I'm going to be honest, a potentially horrifically addicting game. And for the price of $20, it is more than worth it. I need more wood. Now, one thing that I thought of a lot when I've been monkeying around with the game is I'm put heavily in mind of Minecraft. Valheim is all kinds of popular right now. You are not kidding. The folks who put this together, they must have tapped into something, because between, I don't know if it's the price point or the similarity to Minecraft or the fact, I don't know, but it has taken the world by storm, or at least acted like Vikings conquering the nearby gamers. Let's put our roof on here, and that should allow me access to all sorts of other building materials. Now, one thing you'll notice when you look at the inventory here is you'll see this white bar on the underside of a lot of these things. That means they are damaged. You can eventually break your tools or burn out your torches or things like that, but you can repair most of it by clicking the hammer icon, and it has no cost to it. So as long as you have a workbench that works, you're in good shape. And you'll see that now that I have the workbench up, I can create a few more items. I can make a flint axe. Unfortunately, I don't have enough flint. I was hoping I had enough flint to make a flint axe because it's a little bit better than my stone axe. I can make arrows. Of course, those arrows really don't do much good if you don't have a bow. More on that momentarily. The hoe is very useful because while they talk about farmer's tool for working the earth, really its best use is flattening land and raising land, which is very useful to if you don't have a flat space. You can make a flat space. Yeah, it's got that Minecraft feel, but with better graphics. That is exactly right. When I've seen Minecraft and I've seen this, I think, yeah, there are some pretty strong comparisons to make here. So what I'm doing on the stream here is I'm first demonstrating the early experience of Valheim, and then I'm going to swap over to my primary character. I will leave Twitchlandia here. Do I have that name on here? No, I don't. I guess they don't put the name on the map. More's the pity. Right, I named this world Twitchlandia because I'm incredibly unoriginal. How to survive the first night in Valheim style. That's about right, yes. I'm gonna run over here, I'm gonna grab some more of these berries and chow them down. Actually, one more thing. Two more things. First, I'm going to put a cooking station on my fire. Oops. Yeah, don't walk on fire. That's painful. It hurts. Go to my crafting. It'll be under my crafting area. Cooking station. And basically, it's just a rack where you can slap on slabs of meat. And conveniently, I had a couple slabs of meat recently acquired thanks to killing that deer, where I got really lucky. So we'll just put them over the fire. Give them about 10 seconds or so. They'll be cooked. I can put them in my inventory. I can eat them, and their effects will stack with the berries. Come on, cook. Just watch for the flame. There we go. That sear tells you they are done. Now, if you leave them on too long, they blacken into coal. So if you have a desperate need for coal early on, you can always throw food on there and ignore it for an extensive length of time. Now I'm going to eat one of those nice handy bits of cooked meat, and you'll see that above the berry I've got the cooked meat. My maximum health has gone up, and if I do some running, my stamina has gone up. These are all good things. Now that I've done, well, there's one more thing left to do. I keep going back and forth on here. One more thing. I feel like Columbo. I mentioned earlier about marking the map. You have 5 different symbols you can use to mark the map. And I'm going to mark this one right now, just in case. And I'm going to call it camp. I know, I'm bored. I get much more exotic later on. Eventually, I'm going to want to build a better structure than these tiny little lean-tos. I mean, these are hardly what you would call luxury accommodations. But, well, let's take a look at the building stuff again. You've got the raw materials to do some impressive stuff here. You've got the walls, you've got the floors, you've got the roofs, you've got poles and beams. You even have fences and a stake wall. With just that limited amount of stuff, you can do quite a bit. Now, you can also create stacks of wood and rock early on. You may get overzealous with chopping down wood and need to do something with it because you can't carry it all. Weight is a factor in this game. You can get encumbered. You can really take it out on you. You can also create an improvement for your workbench. If you can improve your workbench, you can start upgrading the items you build off of it. I don't have enough flint and wood. Like I said, I'm more interested in the axe than I am anything else right now. And you have some furnishings, including the chest, which you will probably be making a lot of in the game. You can also make a deer rug if you have enough deer hide. The benefits of that, well, the benefits kind of depend on your accommodations. I guess a little more elaboration is mentioned. You'll see that in my upper right-hand corner up here. Well, now it's covered by the stuff here, but there's a rested bonus. That allows you to recover your stamina faster, and it happens every time you're at a rest point, or if you go to sleep and you wake up. Now, how long you get the rested bonus depends a lot on your comfort level. And the comfort level depends on a lot of items, including having a bed, having a fire, and all sorts of other stuff. And that deer rug will actually increase the comfort level. Okay, now that I've gone through all the construction stuff at this early stage, let's finally go over to where Eikthyr is hiding. Although hiding is really the wrong term for it because... Oh, and there's Hugin again. Let's see what Hugin has to tell us, shall we? Calling forth the beast. You have found the summoning place of one of the Forsaken. Make the correct offering at their altar, and they will come. Be wary, though. The Forsaken are not easy prey. So craft a wicked weapon, don your finest armor, and eat a hearty meal before engaging them in combat. Words to live by. Now, unfortunately, we have no idea what we're supposed to put here. But that's what this is for. Let's read this runestone. Hunt his kin. Well, let's see. We can probably logically deduce that killing deer is probably a part of this. But like I said, like Hugin said, don't do it until you've got a wicked weapon and decent armor. And right now I'm wearing rags with a stone axe. Clearly, I am not ready under any stretch of the imagination. Oh, okay, we have some bad guys here. Well, little lizard-like, frog-like critters called necks. And they drop necktails. And incidentally, necktails can be cooked. And they do stack with the raw meat. So you can see right here that we've got a good trifecta of potential meal items. You've got your berries, strawberries technically. You've got your necktails, and you've got the raw meat. Now, scattered around the place are runestones all over the entire setting here. This one, for example, give thanks to Frey for the rain and sun, for the shoots that break the earth's skin, and the fruits of the vine. Give thanks to Odin for the flesh and bone, the smoke from the cooking fire, the warm pelt, and the strength of your arm. As you can see, sometimes you really don't get a whole lot of benefit out of these, but some of them have some interesting little hints that can be useful, and some of them not so much. We'll grab a few more wood here. We can always use wood. I'm a lumberjack guy. Okay. I really should stop doing that. I don't want DMCA to start having a fit. Okay, looks like we've got something over there that looks like kind of like a structure in the distance. Oh, fun fact. Yes, you can pick dandelions. This is actually not as silly as it sounds, because dandelions can have use for the later game. We're not there yet, though. Now what we have here is another structure. Now, what's worth mentioning here is that you can actually repair the structure. You build yourself a crafting table, like, say, this one. Go to your hammer, and you can repair it. You can tell that it's being repaired because it doesn't look like garbage anymore. And why would I do this? Because, you know, once you have this repaired and you put up some equally useful stuff, you can make the use of this for your own use. It's a nice little house-like area. It just needs a little bit of a touch-up. So I'm going to grab my building materials and I'm going to slap some walls to enclose the area a bit more. I'm going to put a door up front here. Because really, who wants uninvited guests? I'll build up the roof. And now you know why I was chopping that wood earlier. In fact, it's even better because this way I don't have to... Oh, I still need more wood. Because I don't have to worry about building it from scratch. So let's grab my stone axe. I'm really hoping to find a river or something like that, because the river is where I'll find flint. Well, it's mostly where I'll find flint. Okay, we have a nice big oak tree. I can't do anything with this axe. Beech trees, I can do something with. So I'll go chop, 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 chopping away, chopping away. Oh yeah, and there's the Greylings. Be aware that critters nearby will hear you working, and if they're like Greylings, they will come after you. Because they're jerks. And I'd like to get that little housing project complete. Because I would like to be inside by the time night falls. If I can't, so be it. Okay, we've got 14 wood pieces. Well, nobody said it was going to be fast and easy. Hacking smaller trees, these small bits, they don't drop as much, but you get done faster. Alright, let's go and see if we can finish up that roofing project. I run out of the help from the berries, but these things happen. Go back into my... Well, before I do anything else out here, there is something else I want to craft here. I need a roof. Okay, I'm going to deconstruct that crafting station, and I'm going to build it back inside, because I need to be able to build something in here, and I have no patience for building a structure outside when I don't have to. Oh! There's a floor in here. Well, that would have been revealed because the next thing I'm going to build here is the hoe. And now I have a number of new abilities to work with. Leveling the ground is basically what I'm looking for here, and really it's not so much that I want to level the ground, although it's helpful. I just want to get rid of all that grass inside. I mean, come on. And look, I have flooring in here, and I never knew it. Oh, there's Hugin outside. Well, Hugin's going to have to wait. So, I have a floor. Let's do some repair work on the floor first. No, didn't want to do that. Let's do some repair work on the flooring that we have in here. And then I'm going to build the floor a little further. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this bit of flooring for reasons that will make apparent shortly. Oh, I have another part of the wood that I didn't get earlier. Alright, let's see. What we have here looks like the beginnings of a chimney. So we're going to take advantage of the fact that we have that and put it there. Continue my roofing project. I see you out there, Hugin. I will get you. I'm just not quite there yet. Let's see. Do I have... No. Okay. Let's get the other side then. 1, 2, 3. How many licks does it take to get to the center of the gypsum road? Alright. Oh! And I have kind of a thing up this side too, don't I? Oh, you know what? I don't really do that. So we're going to crack that down and make use of its raw material. I will put up an X-frame. A little higher up, maybe. And we'll see if I can get this roofing on here to the point where, yeah, perfect. Alright. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I need stone. What happened to my stone? I must have used it making the hoe. Oh, is that water over there? It looks like water over there. Ah, okay, fine, Hugin. You want to talk to me? Let's talk. You have crafted a hoe. This tool is used for landscaping. You can say it is the perfect complement to the hammer. Use it to clear the ground and manipulate the terrain. It is easier to create buildings on level ground. Thanks, Hugin. Now, like I said, water is where I've had the best chance of finding flint, and I may have some easier time finding some loose stones, too. In fact, I usually find the one I don't want to. But no, here's a couple flint. The flint is what's going to allow me to get an improved axe, which will hopefully do a better job of cutting these trees down to the stone. I was hoping to find more rocks, though. Oh, and we have over here the ocean. That's right. We have large bodies of water as well as little ones. Oops. Hi, Neck. Didn't really want to do that, but you know, self-defense matters. Ah, there's one of the trophies I mentioned earlier. I need stone. Where's my stone? Oh, is that stone? No, that's, well, it is a stone, but it's not a stone I can use. And it's getting dark outside. Scary. Another rock? Yes. I need one more, I think. And I'm grabbing flint as I find it too, because I'm going to need it. Alright, let's go. And it's another runestone. Let's read what it has to say. This land is hard and wild, but we who are brought here are harder still. Take comfort, traveler, in the gifts before you, the good wood and stone, the fruits and flowers of the forest. Look also to the wild boar who roam these lands. They fear fire, the hand of man, but they can be taught to obey it. Go quietly to them, and let them eat of your stock. Roots of the ground are their pleasure. So that runestone is basically telling you how you can basically find a boar and tame it. Okay, we're going to head back to my new home area, and you'll see over here. Oh, speaking of wild boars. Alright, wild boar. Burn, baby, burn! No, Hugin, we can talk after I get into cover. You're probably going to tell me all about the horrors of night, and while I'm talking to you, something horrible will attack me. Now you see, once I've killed that boar, I got a whole bunch of new recipes. More on that momentarily. In the meantime, let's go back inside my makeshift home. And let's build the fire. And the smoke will go up the chimney, and all is well. Let's continue our crafting spree. Let's get the flooring put in here. You can't put a campfire on a floor, so that's just one of the little annoying details of life. Although theoretically you can put one under after you've placed it, and there will be still sit right there like that. Why not? Well, okay. Oh, I don't have enough wood. The bad news though is I need more wood because I need to make the bed. Not to mention other things. And that's what I want to do it here first. Do a repair, get my axe back into fully working order. I'm going to break out my torch and my axe so that I can see what I'm hacking at and survive whatever is. No, Hugin, you're just going to be telling me that horrible things are going to happen, and I know that's going to work like that. That bird will not leave me alone. Okay, that should be more than enough to make a bed. Now you'll carefully note that right now my chimney is open to the sky, which is good and which is bad. And the reason for that is if it rains, it will put the fire out. Okay. Let's make my new bed. Let's close my door. And rest. You'll occasionally get these little interludes, like you dream of a river running uphill, of green shoots turning downward into the earth. Gives you the right kind of atmosphere. Alright, let's look at the workbench again. I think, yes, I can make my flint axe. And there it is. That should do substantially better than the tools I was using. And, looks like it burned through the wood floor. Okay, I'm okay with that. I don't have the wood for a cooking station. Well, I'll live. Famous last words, right? Eat my meal? Okay, we'll talk to you now, Hugin. Be wary of the weather. When the temperature drops at night, or if you are wet, you will suffer from being cold. This reduces your stamina regeneration. Seeking shelter by an open flame is your best option when this happens. Uh-oh. Eikthyr rallies the creatures of the forest. Occasionally, you will get these events where everybody is out to get you, and you're home. And Eikthyr commands woodland creatures, so it's the woodland creatures that are going to come around and try to beat the tar out of us. And this will happen for a certain period of time. As the game progresses, and you kill bosses, you will find far nastier critters attacking you. Like trolls. You do not want trolls attacking you if you're not prepared. This is a situation where having a wood stake around your home would be helpful. Now the good news is the creatures of the forest, they're all dropping handy things like necktails, boar meat, and leather. Leather scraps are important. More on that momentarily. After we've taken care of all these uninvited guests. This should last for maybe a minute and a half, maybe 2. I can't remember what the timing on it is. Oh, there's more coming. Come at me, man. Yes, I could tame the boars, but I have no interest in taming them. Not at this time, anyways. I'm more interested in killing them for beef. Okay, technically cows are beef. Oh, the creatures are calming down. And look, there's Hugin again. If he's about to warn me that I'm about to be attacked, I'm going to carve into him and make a meal out of him. Oh, one moment. Okay, that was kind of cruel, but I had to do it. Doesn't matter, he'll be back because he's the Raven of Odin. Really, You really think that whacking them with an axe is going to put them down for any real length of time? You have been invaded. Monsters will lay siege to your camp from time to time. Strength of arms does not guarantee you victory in these situations. Build a strong defense to weather out the storm. Oh. Inconveniently, you have to be near a stone. Let's make use of that. Okay, what I'm going to do is go on top of my home here, and I'm going to put some roofing up here so that if it rains, it won't put out the fire. But at the same time, I need to arrange it so that smoke will go away. Actually, let's do this. That wasn't the way I wanted to go, but I'm adaptable. Yes, one side. Can I get the other side? Come on, come on. There we go. Ah! Still not enough wood! Okay, well, let's try out the stone axe on the trees now. You'll also see we have another lean-to here, and it has a chest inside. More flint! Well, where were you? I was looking for you. And feathers, which can be helpful for making, and this will shock everybody I know, arrows. Better arrows than the wood arrows that are listed right now. No, I was going to go away from here, but we've got more oak trees. I was hoping for something that was a little more breakable. Oops, a boar. And a grayling. And what I've been looking for, trees. Let's see if it takes any faster to cut this tree out on flint. Oh, that log went down pretty quickly, didn't it? Let's try it on something a little more sturdy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still quite a while, but I do think it was faster. And I also like to try to take out the stumps too, because, you know, they annoy me. Plus, it gives me more wood. Unfortunately, I didn't see where that log fell. That's annoying. I chop a tree down and I let that. There we are. It fulcrumed all the way to the other side. There we go. Oh, I must have knocked another one down somewhere along the line. Oops. I'll take it. Oops, no, I didn't want to run that. I didn't want to roll it away. Get back here. Ow. I also see there's some more stones here, so I'll grab them as well. The funny thing is, eventually, stones will get to the point where finding them are not a problem anymore, because you'll be able to effectively generate your own. But that's a little further down the line. Okay, I have my wood. I can go in and finish up this roofing project. Then we'll take a look at the crafting table again. Need to recover more health there because I need to jump on top of the roof here. Alright, and finally put in the actual roofing. And there we go. If it rains, I don't have to worry about the fire putting out my, the rain putting out the fire. So by repairing a pre-existing structure, I've made a pretty decent home for myself. And I will take this home icon, and I will put it here and call this location home. Now that I'm home and have some extra stuff, you can see that I've gotten a few more recipes to work with. I can put on together rag tunic and rag pants. Pants would be nice, wouldn't they? You've got the capability of making a flint knife. either a wooden shield or a tower shield. And you can actually change the style of some of the shields here, which I think is pretty neat. A flint spear. And all the way down here at the bottom, which I don't have the materials for yet, a crude bow. And the crude bow is one of the things that will be very helpful in going against deer. Although the aim of the crude bow is, well, crude. Now, eventually, you can upgrade your workbench. Actually, can I upgrade it now? Furniture, crafting. Yes, I can get a chopping block here. So I'll put that together. Over here. And it opens up some new recipes. I can make leather helmets, leather tunic, leather pants, flint head arrows, and fire arrows. And the leather armor is pretty much the apex of effectively the Stone Age, as far as we're concerned. If you can make your leather armor, if you can make the flint spear and a shield, then you probably have all you need to go up to take out Ekdir. Except for one tiny little problem. You still don't have what you need to summon him. But this will give you a pretty good idea of the early game. So what we're going to do now is we're going to exit Mr. Walker in Twitchlandia. And we're going to take a look at what life is like after you spent a substantially larger amount of time in the game. With the imaginatively named Korath. And we're going to move him to the world of Tavarin. Yeah, sometimes I just slam the keyboard together to make names. I do things like that. Now, this character has taken out two of the bosses of the game so far, two of the Forsaken. Eikthyr and a fellow known as the Elder. Bone Mass is the next individual of choice who needs to go. And as you can see, I have done a little bit of work here. It's kind of foggy out right now, so you really can't see half the stuff I've done. But I've created a bit of a compound here with stone walls, big bonfire, and incidentally, if you look at some of these structures and think how neat they look, Korath must be pretty good at this kind of thing. I'm not. I'm someone who was able to watch YouTube and watch far better builders put this stuff together, and more importantly, tell you how to do it. We'll start over here at the back area. Back area, I've got this little chest here. I've got a whole bunch of plant seeds. Why do I have all these plant seeds? Well, I go outside my back end here, and over here to my adjunct, you can see I've done a little bit of farming. You can take the seeds, you can plant them, you can grow them. And apparently some of the stuff is growing pretty nicely. I've got some carrots that are about ready for harvest. I've been converting some turnip seeds. I have over here, I mentioned earlier in the stream about queen bees and beehives. Well, here's the beehives. I've collected about 9 queen bees, so I've got quite a little bee farm here. Which is kind of ironic, really, because I have a personal deep-seated phobia of bees. So the fact that I have a character just wandering around casually around all these bees is kind of hilarious. And right now I can harvest 4 honey from each of these hives. They can be used to create a number of very useful items. We're not going to worry about... Actually, I am going to worry about harvesting at least the turnips. All the turnip seeds, technically. They're not all right. They don't all become available all at the same time. Sometimes they do, not all the time. It is still awfully foggy out. Over here I have my workshop. This is where I have things like my forge, where I can repair my iron equipment. Iron is something that you can get a hold of in the swamp if you go into sunken crypts. And you would smelt them in this very big smelter, which is fueled by coal, which you can generate by either doing the cook fire method, or you can use this kiln where you throw wood in and charcoal comes out. Further in the back here, I have a whole bunch of chests with all sorts of materials that I use in crafting. Coal, wood, metals. And then we have more disturbing things like eyes. Exotic. Yes, I have eyes. They're Grey Dwarf eyes, which are actually a primary component for something else that I'll be pointing out shortly. Upstairs, I have the standard workbench with a number of other improvements where I can repair my hammer. Oops. Am I carrying trophies there that I don't need? Okay, well, I'll get rid of those shortly. This blacksmithy was based heavily on a design I saw on YouTube, and I did my best to use what I could. I had to shrink it down a little bit. It's not as large as the one I saw on YouTube because I wasn't inclined to stretch my stone walls out even further. Why do I use stone walls? Because I get attacked by trolls. Trolls are big, nasty, and mean. That should be all that's worth mentioning there. Now over here I have a portal room. As you go along in the game, you can eventually find materials that allow you to make these portals. They will allow you to go to various locations. And I've got basically 5 outpost locations, plus a location where I can harvest searchling cores, which are useful for building portals, and a trader who apparently spawned somewhere in a black forest. I wanted to make sure I could get to him at any time. I don't know if I'll keep it very much longer though, because I have an outpost of 5. I'll show the outposts off in a bit. And finally we have the mead hall. And you'll see that I've left a couple object lessons up at the top front area. Like I said, I've had some trolls attacking, and well, I wanted them to know what they could expect if they keep attacking. Hence, I took a couple troll head trophies and mounted them. I'm not above making an example. Now in here we have I don't really have it very well decorated right now. I took a lot of the stuff that I had here out and put them in the workshop. But I still have my cooking fire, basically a hearth, 2 cooking stations, and a cauldron. Over here, I have all my food-related stuff. Ingredients, some raw basic food consumables, potions that I can generate by use of these fermenters. Fermenters? I'm not sure what the accent on that word is supposed to be. And I also have a box for tools and resin. I have a number of spare tools in case something horrible happens to me, or stuff I just don't need to carry on me right now. Now, I do have a second floor in here. And you'll see that I've got a rested comfort bonus of Comfort 10 here. That gives me 20 minutes, sorry, Comfort 13. That gives me 20 minutes of rested bonus. And I have the bed up here because I didn't want it in the way. Now also on the other side here, I have a couple of chests, and I haven't labeled them yet. One's valuables, one's spare armor, one's spare weapons, and spare trophies. And looks like I have too many skeleton trophies. I'll have to get rid of that one. Somewhere along the line I'll just make another chest to throw up here, but I haven't done it yet. Okay, let's see. Now, also in here, if I go far enough over here, oh, I'm on the wrong side, that figures. I have another level. I haven't really done anything with this level at all except create this little section here, which is basically a spare chimney. Well, it's not a spare chimney, but it's where it channels the hearth fire smoke, so it goes out of my home where it can't bother me. I like to think, though, that I could possibly use these windows to take shots at invading trolls if I'm at home. I don't know if I can. I don't think the angle's quite right. Let's head back downstairs. If I had any decent interior decorating skill, this would probably look a lot more impressive on the inside, but I don't have what you would call great interior decorating skill. I have the opposite of good interior decorating skill. Let's close up the door and step outside. And I've got a couple other... I've had other invaders that have attacked too, and, well, I've got warnings for them too. What can I say? If you attack my home base, you too may find your head mounted on the wall. Now, I've built myself a covered bridge over... Is that a rock? Is that a spare rock over there? I mentioned something about being able to generate my own rocks. You eventually get pickaxes, and you basically can whack those big rocks and get small stones. Okay, I've got a little bridge over here. And this bridge will take me to my dock. Inspired heavily by, again, YouTube. But it's not quite done because bad guys can still manage to get their way in here. What I want to do is I want to build kind of a wall structure around here with a door so that they can't get in and break my boat. They've done it once already. And I'd rather them not do it again. Oh, speaking of stupid little critters over there. And over here, we have a lighthouse. Or at least the next best thing to a lighthouse. This was a recent build. And it's basically nothing more than a big, honking, huge cylinder with a hearth fire. Oh, I don't need that anymore. And theoretically, I'd be able, and I have a number of these torches here too, but theoretically speaking, I should be able to see it from afar. Okay, let's go back downstairs. I'm not really bothering decorating this because the whole point of it is what's upstairs. The next project is going to be, like I said, building a skate wall or something around here so that the critters cannot go and break my boat. It's on my list. So I've got a pretty good home base here. I also have this old wooden dock that I was using that I would have probably deconstructed and not too worthless in the future. Now I'm going to take a moment to show you the map when you've had a little bit more exploration done. I've got my home hub area here. You'll see a skull and crossbones. You'll always see that wherever the last place you died was. It happens to be there because I accidentally kind of fell from a great height building my lighthouse, and, well, bad things happen when you fall from great heights. And as you can see, Eikthyr was pretty far away from me on this map. I have a number of camp areas that I call sanctuaries, basically places where I can rest. And one of them actually used to be an outpost that I put together, but I've kind of abandoned it because I've pretty much used up all I need from it. I don't need any copper. There are copper deposits that I mark on the map, so I know where to get copper. And I mentioned something about tin here, but tin's not as hard to find as copper usually. I indicate where troll caves and crypts are, and I X mark them once I explored them and gotten all the loot out of them. I got a sanctuary over here. I have a sanctuary over here. I was going to be making an outpost around here, but I found out that this swampland area was a lot smaller than I thought it was. Didn't have anything useful. But I may still make use of it someday. So I kept it unmarked on my map. I've gone around. I went on my ship and explored a good chunk of the area. There's areas that are called the plains that are way too dangerous for me right now. And if we go a little further down here over to the south across the ocean, I've got other outposts, including my current target, Bone Mass. He's the next one on my Forsaken hit list, and I may be ready, or I may not. I haven't quite determined that for certain yet. Oh, it's a lot more clear now. The fog's all gone. So this is what it looks like around my home area. I'm going to take a quick tour of my various outposts. We'll close it up and go to my portal room. Just for giggles, let's throw some fuel in here. I have no reason to have that there. The design for this was going to be a blacksmithy. That's what the folks on YouTube used it for. But when I saw the design, I said to myself, this looks like a better place for a portal. So I did. So, Outpost 1. Now the fun thing here is, well, not fun, because it's actually very annoying. You cannot take metal ore or metal bars through a portal, which is half the reason why I built the longboat. Now this is one of my early structures. This is not actually my original Outpost 1. This kind of inherited it. And it's a 2-floor structure. I've got a few items. Oh, I have some ore here. I should actually do something about that tin someday. And I've got a forge up here, which I really don't need. Except the location is right, because it puts me near the swamp. And the swamp is near Bone Mass. Hence the reason why I gave this the Outpost 1 designation. I also have notations here about the paths south and north. I basically used a pickaxe to get there in a kind of dock area. It's not really a dock, it's just an area that I know that I can get the ship over. That's less important now than it used to be. I got pretty much most of the stuff I need from here away. I've only got rocks and ore here, and honestly, I don't even need 2 chests, so I'm gonna just put them in the same chest and break the other chest. I don't need more. There's an excellent chance that this particular outpost is going to go away, not more meet us in the future. It's just not there yet. If we take a look outside, you'll see that I've constructed a stone wall around this facility as well. I was far too close to the swamp to be willing to do anything about it. I've got a lot of spare wood out here. Well, not a lot, but it's a stack. We'll take a look at the swamp biome in a bit. I even hopefully label my outposts. There's no real reason for me to throw signage there except I do it. And unlike most of my locations, this particular portal is indoors. I have a lot of portals that are outdoors, but this one is indoors. And I've also got a campfire here that, has my standard chimney. There we go. And that chimney is basically something I do for most of my design work. Just straight up and out. Actually, let me get away from here a bit so you can see the actual structure of the building a little more clearly. This design is basically my standard, which is to say, incredibly unoriginal. It's basically a house barn kind of thing. It's a box house. I know how to design, I know how to build those, so that's what I made. Yay. But it's not exactly what you would call really good looking, shall we say. It's there. That's about the best you can call for it. But it does the job. It's just that I wanted something that was a little more impressive. That's how come I ended up redesigning my entire home base. Alright, that's Outpost 1. Outpost 2. Outpost 2 is my second major outpost. And like I mentioned, I left the portal outdoors. I thought I took apart most of everything in here. Maybe I did. This was where I put my first Trollhead trophy. And again, and this is a small house. This is basically a one-room deal. I have plenty of tin in here. Let's show where it is on here. And as you can see, it is a long, long way from my hub. Which means the odds of me getting that tin where I can use it is vanishingly small. That said, the only reason I would use tin is to make bronze. And bronze is no longer a major concern of mine. But, you know, just in case. I have a forge here, where the forge is something I can use to build metal stuff. I can make the bronze here, so if I really want to make bronze, I can go to a copper deposit near here, mine it, fuse it with that tin. I still won't be able to move the bronze, but at least I can build items out of it, like bronze head arrows. That may not be a bad idea. I'll have to think about that. It would be a good way to get rid of all that tin. And there's a number of other things that you can build here. Ancient bark spears. I'll have to think about that one too. This particular facility is getting dark, so we're gonna, yeah, we're at nighttime now, so you know what, we'll just do a rest here. It won't, I'll throw wood in the fire and sleep. I mean, it's hard to really appreciate the outposts if it's dark. You may or may not put as much effort into designing these kind of outposts as you go along. You may decide that, you know, something small like lean-tos are good enough. And I get that, that's okay. But when you have metal that's far away, you really want a place to work, and you really want to be able to work without having to worry about interruptions, which is why I have this wooden stake wall all around this outpost. And again, you can recognize my box design. I'm horribly unoriginal. I am no architect. I am no designer. My artistic talent can fit into a thimble. But one of the benefits of this particular location is its easy access to a waterway. And that's why I still have hope that I might one day actually take advantage of that fact and take my longship from my dock all the way around the rest of this continent, or island, or however you want to look at it, and get my stuff over here. But that's going to be a bit of a project, so I am not in any immediate hurry, especially since, again, it's tin. And as you may have already noticed, I have signage here for Outpost 2. I'm so clever. Okay, let's go back, and we'll take a look at Outpost 3. So, zip, zap, zop. Now this one was a little bit more of a different design. It's a box design, but it's a log cabin. I wanted something that was a little tougher because, as you can see up on my mini-map there, which is now covered, up in the upper right-hand corner, this is the Black Forest. And the Black Forest is substantially more dangerous than the meadows. I didn't build a very large cabin here, but I needed a place to operate because it put me close by the swamp area. Now the downside though is there was only one crypt in this swamp area, and the only reason really to go into swamp areas are for the sunken crypts. sunken crypts are, to put it simply, the only place, well, at the moment, the only place that I can find scrap metal iron. Scrap iron. And scrap iron is what allowed me to basically wear the gear I'm using right now, which is basically iron helmet, iron chest, iron pants, iron weaponry, iron axes and pickaxes. Iron, 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 iron. But I needed something that could survive an attack by the creatures that come from the swamp. So I had the stake wall, and I made the log cabin. And I made the log cabin because, well, I always wanted to build one. My standard chimney design, standard home design, you know, nothing fancy, much smaller than most of my outposts. This was basically just a place for me to get stuff, rearm. I think I had a forge in here. No, I don't have a forge. I just had a workbench. Like, as it turned out, I only had one thing, and I even have an old torch in here. So there's nothing really big and fancy about this particular location. Now, Outpost 4, on the other hand, Outpost 4 is something that, for the most part, I cannot take credit for. But I'll take credit for it anyway. I thought that this area, the area that I was going to use more, and I might use it more later on as we go along. This building, I did not build. I repaired. In fact, there is a whole village here. These were all abandoned buildings, all village, and they were all occupied by Draugr, which are some of the nastier critters that usually come from the swamps. They were all over the place. I cleansed this place like crazy, but I decided to keep it, especially on the strength of this building here, which is a really impressive looking building. I like it. Thing is, though, I'd never be able to build it. Not on my own, at any rate. I can't stay up there because of the angle of the walls. Don't let me slide! Don't let me slide! Oops, too far. I'm gonna throw myself down that really shaky. Okay, fine. It wants to play that way. We'll play that way. I just want to try to make sure there's nothing broken in bad shape here. It's still not the best design, but it looks impressive. So I repaired it. I put in the spots that were empty and filled them up. And here we are. At any rate, the reason I liked it, and the reason I wanted to hold on to this place and eventually build it back up, has to do with this location. I thought that there would be something helpful around this area. The swamplands, I think, are around here, but doesn't look like it's very huge. But what it does have is proximity to the plains biome. So eventually, this place is going to start seeing a lot more use because the plains are about 2 biomes ahead of where I want to go. The biomes in Valheim are basically the method of progression. You start out in the meadows. You kill the boss there. The next boss is in the Black Forest. So you go there and you gather the resources there, build there. You kill the boss there. Your next biome is the swamp. You get the resources there. You make your weapons and all that there. You go after the boss there. The next one on the list after that is not the plains. The next biome are mountains, and they're the areas that are large. If you're seeing big holes in the map, that's because those are where I find, for the most part, where I found mountains. I had to go around them. And the mountains will have their own challenges. But I'm not there yet, because I still gotta kill bone mass. So the time is going to come where this outpost is going to be live again. You see I've gotten a huge stake wall all around it. Planning ahead. Planning ahead. And finally, we have Outpost 5. Incidentally, portals are basically two-way. Basically, it's like making a phone call. And not a party line phone call either. You have a sender and you have a receiver. And they basically link based on the portal tags. So if I have an Outpost 5 portal, it will teleport me to another portal that's currently listed as Outpost 5. If you make a third portal and name it Outpost 5, then one of the other portals are going to be suddenly cut off. Now again, I have a fairly simple building here, although I put a hearth in here for multiple cooking. And the reason I have multiple cooking is out here. I've been raising boars. You can remember that runestone I mentioned early on that was talking about taming boars? I did it. And I went out of my way to start making them breed, grow. Occasionally you have to feed them. So let's see, let's do that now. Grab 8 turnips. They all should be hungry because I haven't been here for a while because I was busy building my dock and lighthouse. But we've got 4 boards in here, so I'm not. We can leave them alone. Now over here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boards. It's time to harvest. It's a hard world. That's the reason I'm breeding them, though, because I need occasional fresh meat, and, you know, this is a nice, consistent way of getting them. But hey, guys, don't go away mad. Look, I have food for you guys. Yum, 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 yum. So this is basically my animal husbandry area. This location also puts me into a very convenient spot because there's a lot more swampland. And as you can see up here, I hit the mother lode of crypts. There were 5 crypts in this area. That allowed me to do some serious work on iron gathering. But of course, again, we have the little problem of being on the other freaking side of the continent here. But at least it's not a horrible freaking bad side. I could conceivably get my longboat out here. Although I don't think I would build the same kind of dock that I did over at the hub. But there is a chance I could get iron from here back to my home base. And right now we've got, well, what do we got? I've got 30 stacks of iron smelted and some copper and tin that I can make the bronze. A spare cultivation tool that allows me to do some farming here. Because one of the things that this area did not have very much of that I felt I needed more of were trees. So I put together a very small tree farm. I really should expand this and build more trees so I can cut them down, make more wood, do further building. I have a feeling that building is going to be the real end of Valheim right there. Do a search on Valheim on YouTube, or really just look over any other Valheim streamer, and you will see some really impressive construction. Oh, right. Now, you notice I have 2 more portals here. One will take me to the trader, and there's really nothing there worth mentioning at the moment. The other one will take me to an area called FotR's. And that will require a little bit of explanation. As you can see, I am in the middle of the swamp. In fact, what I really should do is put this here. core camp. I'm surrounded by stake walls, and you'll see that there's a fire geyser over there. Now, one of my org mates from Star Citizen clued me in on this little trick. If you use your pickaxe and make the swampland all water around it, all the searcherlings, who are beings of fire, will immediately go out in them and die. And then, hey, free coal, free searcherling cores. Oh, my inventory seems to have taken the beating. Is it wait? No, it's just items. Let's see. I don't need the feather. I don't need the leather scraps. Technically speaking, I'm for coal either, but that's going to accumulate anyway, so I might as well go with it. And well, I'm not ready to get rid of the stones yet. What I really need to do is make. Oops! Don't go into fire geyser though, because you will burn. Of course, if I'm in the water, it's a moot point. Now, the nice thing about this particular location is that there's another fire geyser all the way over there. Now, the swamps are kind of dangerous because there's a lot of creatures in here that like to do poison. That reminds me. Let's swap out my poison resist potions, just in case some of the hostiles come around. And as you can see, I did some work on this geyser too. Oops! No. That's not fry. Ah! And gather more coal, more cores. I honestly could care less about the coal, but the cores are everything. And since we're here, let's head back towards the core area. There's some pretty nasty critters in here. There's leeches that poison, there's blobs that poison, there's Draugr who get like a truck. Now over here is one of the sunken crypts I mentioned. I've already cleared this one out, so there's nothing in here. It is helpful though, because it might be a useful place to retreat to and not have to worry about being pursued if, say, horrible things were to happen. And believe me, horrible things can be happening. I have over here a little shed with a bed in it. That's going to be very important. I did a lot of work around here to flatten the land, because all the way over here is the location where you would summon bone mass. Scary looking, big skull. Ooh. And he's got one of those stones here. And it tells you, cook their remains. And those remains are going to be basically withered bones, which I have plenty of. And you just throw them into boiling death. And that will spawn bone mass. And bone mass, as I understand it, is one of the more terrifying bosses in the game at the moment. Especially because he likes to summon reinforcements. So my goal is to have basically fight on the ground over here, where there's lots of flat land. Well, relatively flat land, where I don't have to worry about leeches getting involved in the game. I'll have to deal with blobs that the guy throws at me. Blobs are pretty nasty because they poison like crazy. Hence the reason why I have heaps of poison-resistant potions. And the proximity of a sunken crypt over here gives me a place to retreat to if things go really, really badly. Then I can take down some healing potions, recover, come back out, and rejoin the battle. In theory. But that's the plan. I'm not 100% confident in my ability to survive bone mass quite yet. I'm close. I think I'm pretty close. I think I might want to bump my armor up a bit. I guess there's some explanation in order here too. You'll see that there, for some of my equipment, I have these numbers. 3, 1, 3, 3, 1, 1. these are items that can be upgraded at a workbench or at a forge. And you'll see that I've gotten my mace up to rank 3. I might be able to get it to rank 4. Maybe. I have to check to see if I'm even capable of getting it that far at this stage in the game. What I really want to do, though, is get my armor up to 3, particularly the scale mail and greaves. The helmet I can kind of take or leave, and the cape is basically troll hide. It gave me a set bonus if I wore all troll armor for being sneaky. And if you ever saw the trolls in this game, you would understand why they're sneaky, because man, they're like stealth masters. You wouldn't think that something so huge could be so stealthy, but they are. I think there's a leech around here that's playing around. Let's see about killing him. I'm not going to get in the water with him, so I'm just going to shoot him with my bow. And what he'll give me, theoretically speaking, are blood bags. Oh, except of course I have no room in my inventory. Haha. I don't need a skull anymore. There we go, blood bags. And they can be used as part of certain recipes. Let's leave it at that. Oh, what's here? Something I got rid of earlier? Oh, it's another blood bag. I wonder what happened to that one. I don't recall killing any more today. Oh, more leeches. Oh, let's kill him too. Oh, okay, he's moving away. You know what? I'm not going to worry about these leeches. They're just leeches. So we're back at the hub. Let's see what I need to improve my armor. Why don't we check that first? To upgrade my armor, go to the upgrade, I need iron and iron. Well, there's something rather pure about that detail, isn't there? First you need iron, then you need more iron. And to get my mace, I need to improve my forge to the next level up. It's a level 4 forge. I need level 5. Let me take a quick peek at my crafting table, maybe? Let's take no, not the crafting table, my hammer. And take a look at the crafting stuff, and I think it's this I need to build, the tool rack. Let me double check. Do I have a tool rack? I don't have a tool rack. So I need to build a tool rack, which will require me to have, you guessed it, more iron. 15 of it. So I'm going to need 35 iron. Which means even if I pick it up from my outpost, it's still not going to have enough iron. Well, you know, life is complicated. Okay, let's dump out the stuff I have in here. See, cores in this chest. There are people who have whole bunches of chests in their games, and I always try to label mine because I think it's insane to try to do this kind of thing without labeling, or otherwise it'll be going back and forth in the same area all the time. And honestly, I still end up doing that. I never pretended to be perfect. Let's see, I didn't have any eyes, I don't have any arrows I'm keeping. Blood bags. Do I need the blood bags here, or are there recipes for something else? I think they're recipes for something else. Don't need coal. I don't have any wood that I need to put in there. We have 2 kinds of wood. Well, 3 kinds, actually. Ancient bark, fine wood, and core wood. Metals, hides. Do I have any hides on me? I do not. And feathers and bone. I got rid of the feather. Basically trying to empty out my inventory a bit. And here's where I have my seeds, so I'll put the various seeding things in here. Oh, I have the certainly trophy. I can deal with that later. I also have a crate over here that I store excess garbage stuff. Or just excess stuff in general. I often put my rocks in here. I'll leave well enough alone there. I finally want to get rid of that blood bag, and I'm pretty sure it's an ingredient on something. Okay, well this is interesting. Apparently my signal to my router is no longer working, so I don't have my Twitch rolling for my Wi-Fi. Why is my Wi-Fi not cooperating? That is not good. I hope it hasn't been down too long, because I may have been missing all sorts of conversation for all I know. But no, it looks like my OBS doesn't have any more commentary on here, so I've not missed anything yet. It does have Wi-Fi. Oh, now my main network is back. Man, my router is screwing with me. I hope that's not a sign that I need to replace it soon. Ingredients. Blood bags. Right. There we are. And the trophies are upstairs, which is good because I'll be going upstairs anyway to do a rest. Because the next step, the next thing we'll be doing here, I do not want to be doing in the dark. Oh, I do have that. Well, I do have meat, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make something out of it. I can make turnip stew, which is a possibility, but I think what I really want to do is make sausages. So I'm going to grab some thistles and entrails for my ingredients. And we'll grab some sausage. Okay, fine. We'll also make some. We'll make some turnip stew. Why not? Okay, that clears out my meat supply. Let's put my remaining ingredients back. I'll need to bring more thistles somewhere along the line. And I think it's raining outside right now. Yes, it is. Thunder, lightning. Apparently, if you look in the right spots when it's doing a thunderstorm, you might be able to see glimpses of Thor himself. Makes sense. He's got a thunder. You expect that sort of thing. I've not seen it, but I take it on faith that it's there. Alright, so we're going to sleep. And then, if it's hopefully still there, we'll take the boat out and try to get to the outpost and collect that iron. And it sounds like it's still raining. Awesome. I'm gonna have one of the sausages I just made, and one of the turnips I just made, and I'm gonna eat some of the cooked meat. Now, it may take a bit before it happens, but I will start gathering help. Oh, that lighthouse is pretty nice. I hope I can see it at a good distance. My boat is still there. Awesome. So now it's time to leave this area. Go out of my dock. Getting back in the dock is going to be entertaining. I'm not looking forward to that part. something about that. It's a little bit too big. Okay, let's bring up things. Let's slow things down for a minute here because I need to take a look at where I am and where I need to be. Okay, so southwest is the general direction I want to go. Now, it is not completely safe to sail like this because you see, there are not very many opponents in the ocean, but there's one very significant opponent in the ocean. Serpents. And I'm pretty sure that they would kill me off in very little time. So I'm trying very hard to avoid serpents. Incidentally, this is the first time I've taken this particular boat out. I've taken the next boat lower in size, the Carve. But the Carve has been, how can I put it simply? I've had it vanish on me far too many times to really trust the Carve. And this has more storage space. If I look over here, a stool. Even if you're doing multiplayer, I presume they sit in stools. We've got 3, 5, 6. So we've got 18 slots that we can store stuff in here. That's useful. Now, if the wind is against you, you've got to use the rudder. No choice on that one. And sadly, and typically, of course, because that's just the way my luck works, the wind, I am literally going into the wind. So, thanks to Heat Thor, let me check my arrow supply, because chances are if a serpent comes, the arrows are going to be my only defense. I mean, I could try outrunning them, but I have to go back in the exact opposite direction. Now you'll see I have a label here, here, there, be serpent. I didn't have enough room to put the rest of the word. But I know there's a serpent that haunts around that area, and I wanted to make sure I went around it. Sailing is really rough when you got the wind against you. But I am very happy with the way they did their water effects, though, because that is some pretty nice water effects. And we're not doing too bad as far as time and movement. I mean, we started here at the dock, all the way here. I think maybe we can almost say almost a quarter of the trip now. Things will go a lot better if the wind would just, go in the other direction. Now you can see on the lower left-hand side, I have a current health of 151. This is pretty much the exact area I'm going to be. And it's dropping. I hope that's an effect of food, not, something else. But that's generally the kind of health I want to be having when I go up against bone mass. So, cooked meat, sausage, and turnip stew. That will theoretically be the optimum required to go up against the big bad. Now, something else that I haven't mentioned on the lower left-hand side is you'll notice that there's a little thing there that says, I fear, ready. When you kill one of the Forsaken, a number of things happen. First, you get a trophy. Secondly, you get usually some kind of special item. When I killed Eichir, for example, I got his antlers. That allowed me to build my first pickaxe. When I killed the Elder, what did I get when I killed the Elder? Well, this is embarrassing. I don't remember what I got when I killed the Elder. Something I could use. But for the life of me, I can't remember what it was. Oh, things that happen when you start working your way to senility. But when you take the trophies and you take them to the Forsaken area, get some more weight off of this. not really. I'm more or less still calm. And I'm going to continue to go to the wind. I'd head to the sanctuary over there, but honestly, the sanctuary is basically dead lead to kind of thing. When you get the trophies and you take them to the big stone pillars that you basically started the game at, and you hang them up on the hooks, you gain access to special powers. But you can only have one power available to you at a time. Ike here will give you the power to resist. Wind is available. Let's take advantage of it. They'll give you the chance to recuperate your strength, your health, your stamina faster. Oh, well, here's a spot we can go to. Now you'll notice that this little island here, it does not have anything showing up on the map. Let's see if I get the reverse going here, because I don't want to pass it up too much. And there's a very good reason why it's not on the map. I want to get a little closer to it. This might be as good as I'm going to get. Slow it down so it says stop. I'm probably going to have to swim for a part of it. My stamina's still decent. And I can mine these carbuncles. Now, why is everything suddenly shaking? That's because this is not an island. This is a Leviathan. Okay, I need to get my health stamina regenerated here, because eventually the Leviathan is going to have enough of this. Oh, here we go. It is sinking into the ocean. And this is why I wanted to make sure I had my stamina, so I can have enough stamina to get back to my boat and get back on board before I drown to death. Oh, nuts, I went on the right side. Oh, I made a fatal miscalculation there. There we go. Whew. And these carbuncles can be used for crafting certain things. I just had to show that off. Okay, let's get back to business. Southwest is the direction I want to go, and southwest, well, actually it looks like I want to go primarily west at this point, because I seem to have done more south than west. But hopefully I will still be able to catch enough wind to make having to sail down worthwhile. There we go. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Remember, our goal here is to get to Outpost 5. And then we're going to load up with all the iron I can stick into here. And then head back. And of course, I can bet real money that I will probably again have to win against you for those maps. Because that's just how my luck runs. I am wet. Oh, with all the splashing going on, I'm not surprised. Oh, that was, no, the wet's from when I was doing this swimming. So full sail out, and we're making good time. Oh, and it's another Leviathan. I don't know if I want that many more abyssal carbuncles or whatever they are. Titan. The Titan, technically. Why the hell did I think they were carbuncles? Probably not best. Probably best not to look into that too closely. Things are going well, meaning I don't have sea serpents coming after me. Believe me, sea serpents are something I do not want to have to fight. Of course, the other thing I don't want to fight are rocks, so let's try to make sure that I'm not going into. Okay, getting closer, getting closer. It looks like I've got two possible areas of entry here. I think I want to go through this one as opposed to through this cove. Mainly because this is a long ship and maneuverability is not strong. Uh-oh, is that? No, those are rocks. I'm okay with rocks. I can deal with rocks. I can go around rocks. Rocks will not chase me. Sea serpents will chase me. I don't want to have to deal with sea serpents. Now, once we start getting into this kind of area, that means I gotta start looking for rocks, and I'm gonna have to take the sail down and start using the rudder more. Ships can take damage. Ships can sink. My priority, don't sink. I feel that should not really need to be said, but there it is. If I'm really lucky, I'll be able to rest and recuperate. There's the outpost. And we're basically just ruddering in at this point. I do not want to be playing with the kind of speed I can do in full sail and go crunk. Crunk is bad. We don't want crunk. And I can put this practically right up against the wall. Scrape, scrape. Okay, I think that's close enough, especially since I've got a critter there who wants to interrupt. Excuse me, did I tell you you could vandalize my boat? Still plenty of daylight too, so now I have a... it does seem like it's still most getting close to sunset. I don't want to load the boat quite yet, because I'm worried that my boat will disappear or get wrecked or something, and then I'll lose everything. What I really want to do is protect the boat entirely, but I don't think there's anything I can do about that. Okay, so let's check out the iron supply. If the iron supply is good, like better than I think it is. 30, straight 30. It's good, but it's not great. The problem here is I need more iron to get everything where I need it to be. I need to upgrade the forge, then I need to upgrade the armor, upgrade the mace. You know what, actually, forget the forge upgrade. The mace and the armor are more important. Not the armor is the most important. Then I can upgrade the forge itself. The mace, I'm in no hurry. Let's check my piggies. Okay, if you go in here, you'll see that there's a piggy here. So apparently my boars have been doing some breeding, which is exactly what I want them to do because that makes them a renewable resource. In case I want more. Ooh, it looks like we got a couple more boars that are doing a mating dance of their own. And we've got a piggy in here too. So in the near future, I expect good things. Let me get this rock out of you. Keep it pastoral in here. Let's not have any hard rocks to injure themselves on. Hey, piggy, piggy, piggy. And eventually, usually when I see like 6 boars in here, I'll kill 2 of them. And that's usually enough that I can expect them to get busy, shall we say. I really do need to increase this planting area because well, the problem with using this area for my tree farm is that they're far too close to my pens there, and they might fall and kill the pigs. I'd rather them not do that. Oh, look, there's another bad guy. Let's hit him. At this stage of the game, when I'm basically in Iron Age level, Greylings are not really a major threat. Not unless there's a horde of them, like, I don't know, 50 or 60 of them. I could kill off those necks, but what's the point? I'm not ready to do that yet. I'll save them for when I need to. I'll do that with some deer at this point, too. Now, something else I see, you see there's a bird there? Ah, flew away. You can kill them and you can harvest them for feathers. Hello! Come and get me! And I hit them so hard they're knocked all the way back in the water. Love these guys. And see, there's a couple deer that I let roam here. And I let them do that because they're meat on the hoof. Eventually, I'm going to decide I need extra food here. And I'll kill them and take their hide and take their meat, cook them, and be done with it. I'm just going to rest here as opposed to going back to my home base. Because I don't want to give the nighttime critters the opportunity to take out my boat when I'm not looking. Now, the downside of trying to transport those iron bars, aside from the detail about, heavy stuff. Well, actually, no, the fact they are heavy stuff is the problem. I'm carrying too much, I'm carrying too much, I'm carrying too much. This character can handle 450 pounds of weight. So the iron's going to have to kind of come in parts. Okay, let's hop off. 2. There we go. I'm trying to be lazy about this and get as many of the ores into the boat as I possibly can in one trip. And load them in. Now I'll get the rest of the ores. And if there's anything else I want to take here too, because, no, everything here is okay. I don't need the trophies, but I'm not taking them back either. The scraps, I've got plenty of other scraps. I'll take the dandelion, because I can use that for potion ingredient. Okay, I can use another bite, so I'll have another sausage, another turnip, another cooked meat. Oops, I'm encumbered. I'm carrying too much iron. Still. So we'll have to make another trip. I'll just sit here, get my rested bonus, watch my hit. Your health will jump up a lot higher if you're rested. You have a decent comfort level and all that. I'm not sure how the formulas work on that, so don't ask me. But we are where I want to be. So now I can put this set of ore into the boat. Then I just have to make one more trip, and then we will be ready for the journey home. Provided that, you know, nothing kills off my boat in here. 170. Yeah, that's a good health number. Let's see if you're going up against bone mass. Bone mass is on my list. Yes, it is. The last of my iron ore. Tell you what, I'll leave the rocks here. How's that for a frame? Take the wood, though. That's what I'll do with the wood. I have a bunch of my work tables and forges here. What I could also do... I'm going to break some of my parts down here. I mean, if I'm going to be getting all these ores and stuff, I might as well at least get the other materials too. And if I break this... then I should have enough. Now, how much iron am I carrying down? 9? I have, did any of it go back into the wall here? Not here. What do I need for the 15 iron? 15 iron? Okay, if it's 15 iron, I probably have to go back again because it wouldn't automatically pick up because I'd be encumbered again. But yeah, if I can take advantage of the fact that I'm here, get these chains, put the wood in. If I got something heavy to carry, I'm going to try to take it off in a moment. So that way, I have a better chance of picking up the spare iron. Tell me that it did not lose that iron. Tell me that it did not lose that iron. It was 15 freaking iron. Oh, this does not make me happy. This does not make me happy. You're usually supposed to be able to recover everything that you lose when you toss something like that off. Is it underside? Is it underside? Oh, I am not happy. I am not happy one bit. I mean, bad enough. Oh, I am not happy. $15 iron. Let's break everything and see if it's hiding under something. Let's put the stones in here, coal in here. We'll keep the bronze. Need the stone wheel here because I've already got what I need for that. I was just hoping that I would pull something away. Oh, there's something else wood. I'm carrying too much. Big surprise. Oh, I am not happy. I am not happy. I had 15 irons into that thing. And it went bang, gone, hasta la vista. I don't even see it underneath the floor. Oh, I am not happy. I am not happy. I mean, I got most of what I wanted out of it, still. Wait, is there something up here? Oh, wait, I think I found it. There it is. Okay, so it's hiding underneath the roofing. The roofing of all places. In the meantime, let's stick that in there. I can always use more bronze. Fine wood. Now let's see if I can manage to grab the... I got it. I got it. Alright. That took longer than it should have, but I got it. Okay, we're going to push the boat so that it's facing outward. We're going to try to push the boat so it's facing outward. We're going to fail miserably in pushing the boat so it's facing outward. So we're going to hit the rudder and see if I can get this thing out of here. It's going to be my challenge. You may have noticed, incidentally, if you look carefully, that we have fish here. If you get certain things from the trader, you can purchase a fishing rod. That's by going backwards. Maybe I'll have more luck with that. Yeah. Yeah. We'll rudder backwards until I'm clear. And you can cook the fish and eat the fish. So, you know, good times. Alright, we're almost where we want to be. I can get myself turned around just a little more. Oops. That blade did not work. This is why it's generally a good idea for you to create your own docking areas. A little more. Oh, look. I have a grayling. Unfortunately, he's too busy swimming to try to be able to do anything useful. I'll need that rock again. I will get out of here. Help me out here, gravity. Inertia. Newton. Alright. It's a good thing this is a long boat, because with the abuse I'm keeping upon it, I'd probably end up sinking in the near future. Alright, we're clear. And I must say, this gives me great hope for my ability to get this thing back in my dock with that very narrow channel. I am so dead. And then, of course, there's still that sea serpent that lurks in that area, too. I'm not going to worry about that yet, though. I have plenty of other things to worry about that will give me more problems. The wind is at my back, so I am probably moving at the best speed I can. giggles. That's the effect of this. No, I'm moving too fast. I can't do it. Theoretically, I should be able to hang on to that prow there and have, you know, I'm king of the world! I don't want to experiment too much though, because otherwise my boat will keep going, I won't, I'll end up in the drink and my boat will be gone with everything aboard. That would not be good. Uh-oh. I'm hoping this means there's rain coming. Because rain would be better than the alternative, which is nightfall. I didn't think we were that close to nighttime. Yeah, it's raining. Thank heavens. I'll take rain, I will take storms, but do not hit me with nightfall, because I'm sure the sea serpents would come out in large numbers. While I'm sure that it would be an exciting thing to throw into the screen, I'm pretty sure it would end very poorly. What is that thing on the back? Looks like there's supposed to be something. Oh! Ouch! Leviathan. Stupid Leviathans. Leviathan not helping. All I'm trying to do right now is turn myself to the point where I can go without having annoying land mass things. This guy keeps annoying me too much. I'm just going to go and mine more often. Things I do to transport iron. Alright, we are clear and navigating. And I'm near the point where I want to start heading to the northeast. Still have a pretty decent wind, so I'm still moving at a pretty decent rate. Let's chow down some more meat. When I see the food symbols on the left blinking, that means I don't have much longer before their effects wear off. And at that point, I can eat something else to replace it. If I can get the ship back into my dock, I will consider it a big win. Because that'll be the first. This is basically the maiden voyage of this boat. I've never taken out the longboat. It's the first time I've made use of that dock. Okay, the sausage and turnips are also going. I'll take the turnip, but I'm leaving. No, fine, I'll take the sausage too. I have enough. And I'm going to kind of keep a wary eye out at this point for sea serpents. I keep mentioning them. I realize I'm disappointing a lot of people by not seeing any sea serpents to make my life a living hell, but all the same, I kind of want to not encounter them. Especially now that I have cargo. I might have been willing to accept it when I wasn't carrying heaps of iron, but if I lose this ship and that iron, that's all gone. They're going to sink to the bottom of the ocean, and I will never see them again. For this reason, I'm going to angle myself a little more eastward. Because I know he'll be hovering there around here somewhere. Well, I say they, but it's really just one. I don't have the confidence necessary for this ship to survive an attack by a sea serpent. more to the point, I don't have much confidence in me surviving against a sea serpent. In other words, I'd rather admire them at a distance. A very long distance, where they have no idea that I'm anywhere nearby. So, not doing too badly. And it's going to be interesting to see if my lighthouse functions as desired. I don't know if it will or not. The whole point about having a lighthouse in general is to be able to see it at a distance, so I know where the shore is, approximately. I just don't know that I've got enough brightness coming out of the lighthouse. Oh, and we're getting close to sunset too, so things are going to start getting a little bit more entertaining than I want. But I'm getting close to shore. According to the map. Start hanging a little left. I don't feel rested anymore. Well, big shock there. Oh, there's the lighthouse. Unfortunately, it didn't exactly go as expected. But at least I'm close enough to rudder in, because at this point I'm pretty safe from sea serpents. Now I would like to back this in. I just don't know if I have that much good coordination to work with. Rudder back, rudder back. Oh, we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it. We're not gonna do it. Turn, you big, beautiful boat, turn! You can do it. We're in. Ha ha. Well, we're almost in. Just push it back. Perfect. And it's easy to hop out because I put my nice big stone stairs here. We'll leave everything on board for now because it's pretty dark out and I'd like to get the sleep happening before some critter decides he wants to take a swing at my boat. upstairs. Head to my upstairs bed. Incidentally, every time you hit a bed, it's basically turning it into your spawn point. So if I die, I spawn at my last spawn point. If I died at sea, I'd be back at the outpost. At outpost 5. But now, if I die, I'll be here. Always a helpful tip. Now, since I have all those ores and things, I am not going to try carrying them manually. I'm going to take my cart. Of course, what I might want to do first is repair the cart. Oh, the cart's in actually pretty good shape. How did that happen? Usually if you leave something made out of wood that doesn't have a roof over it, it tends to degrade pretty rapidly. But for some reason, my cart's in pretty good shape. I'm sure that I don't know why. I've used it enough. And I need to rework the path here, because it's still bumpy. But now you know why I have this covered bridge. Now the trick is, am I going to be able to get up here fully encumbered and get the ores in here? Especially seeing that they're all on the back end of the ship and not the front. Well, faint heart never served anyone, right? Oh wait, I can't do that because I have to jump off the ship. And if you're encumbered, you can't jump. Well, it was a brilliant plan. It just had a tiny flaw. Still, it's a lot easier to just put them in the cart and run back and forth between my home base and the boat. Now we'll grab all the bronze. I might have to do the rest of the iron in 2 trips though. Yeah, that was pretty bad. If I can grab all the rest of the equipment. Okay, maybe not all the rest of the equipment. Most of it. No, into cart, not out the cart. Chains and deer hide. So the boat's maiden voyage has done a great job. A great job. Do a repair work on the boat. Since I kind of beat up on it a little bit. Right. And heck, we'll throw the Titan in there too. Grab the cart and head back to the hub. Oops. I seem to have gotten the cart stuck. Okay, well let's see if I can do something about that. I have my hoe. Not my pickaxe. Do I have my hoe? I do. Let's see if I can do something about the land around it to help, and while I'm here I might as well do a little bit more flattening here to make it a smoother trip next time. Much better. Open the gate. Close the gate because I do not want those greylings running around free in my primary base here. And then we can unload the metals into their proper containers. And And at some future point, I will make use of the fact that I have those medals and do those upgrades I mentioned. I don't know if the Titan is in here or not. I know the hide is, though. Metals. Iron. Is it under exotics? It is. It's nice to see that my thought process is managed to be consistent. That's everything here. I'm still getting used to the way I have the blacksmithy set up. Put the copper in. I should be able to make a fair amount of bronze out of this. Okay, now I'm encumbered, but I should have enough movement to get me to one of the chests. Given the fact that I've got all that meat and turnip stuff in me. Not bad. Not bad at all. And I think I have that fine wood as the finale here. Standard wood I'll keep available to me personally. The rocks I'll leave in here. These guys are ancient seeds, and the only use that they have that I've been able to find is that they call the Elder, which is the second Forsaken you have to fight. But once you've killed him, there kind of doesn't there. There's nothing that you can do with them. Not like you can plant them and make another Elder. Let's hope you can't plant them and make another Elder. Okay, fine wood goes in here. And I think that's probably a good place to end the stream for today. This has definitely been an unscheduled stream. Usually I stream Star Citizen on Saturday afternoons from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern. But my schedule was a little wonky today, so I figured I'd spend the time doing Valheim, show off the early game, and show off what life is like a little bit in the mid-game. And there's still plenty left to go because I've not gone to the mountains, I've not gone to the plains, and I still have yet to kill Bone Mass. So, you know, there's still plenty to do. Also, I stream Star Trek Online on Wednesday nights from 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern to 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern. So if you have an interest in either one of those games, I hope that you'll join me at some point during those hours and say hello, have a chat, see what they're like, all the good stuff. Thank you all for watching, whether you were watching this live or catch up with it at some later point. I hope to see you again. This is Korath Landwalker, signing off.